the list on screen. Today I'm trying out something slightly different. Well, I changed one card, so I can't really call it different. But I'm trying out Lurrus in the sideboard as a companion, because it's free, and I think that playing one Lurrus and two Searing Blaze is fine, because I want Searing Blaze in matchups where I want to remove creatures, and Lurrus kind of lets me use my burn spells to remove creatures, so they have they fill the same slots in my opinion. They're certainly not the same card. They do kind of fill the same slots in the sideboard. I was thinking if I'd want to take out the Searing Blaze and play 2 Seal of Fire in the side. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I'm gonna try this now. Let's go for it. Oops. Let's join the league. Hopefully we don't run into too much hate. Some decks are now playing main deck Gargaroth, which is super annoying for us, because basically puts us one turn away from losing, right? I don't know. I've managed Uro so far, so maybe Gargaroth isn't a big issue. This queue is taking some time. Okay, we do have a match, but let me just have the list open here. Let's reveal our companion. Oh, this is a great hand. Opponent moles, I'm gonna keep for sure. It's a good enough hand. Okay, so we're probably up against Temur or Bant or Sultai. Basically an Uro deck. I like to have my companion visible here. And I feel that a lot of people say that they forget about their companion, so I like to having mine here always available to me. Okay, so opponent has lands in hand. That's what I interpret from this, because the only reason you don't take the free Scry from Goblin Guide is if decent draw is if you want to reduce your chances of drawing lands. Can quite F6 here. Goblin Guide probably dies. Snapcaster? Ooh, do I want to kill the Snapcaster? I think I do, right? It's a pretty desperate move, because he's gaining 1 life like this. Oh, he forces? Oh my god. Seriously? Wow. Wow, that's concerning actually. Gonna pass here. That was an incredible play from opponent. Like, his last 2 cards need to be really good for this to properly work. gonna shock myself here just because these decks tend to run a couple of Field of Ruin. And I want the ability to... Swiftspear is a good one. I'm gonna cast Swiftspear here. And... I don't think opponent counters this. But... Oh, he's doing something. Counter draw. Okay, that's fine. That's pretty fine. That 1 point of damage would be relevant, but obviously him playing Cryptic is very good for us. That's not as great. He does play the Euro, so we'll act now. We know he has a Factor Fiction, so there's a high chance this one resolves. He does find a land, which is kinda good for us. You know he has Factor Fiction, so you really need something good in hand. So when we draw Boros Charm, I'm gonna spike now. Do I Boros Charm here? Or let him cast... I think I'll let him cast Uro, to be honest. He kinda has to cast Uro here. The Netherland? He definitely has to cast Uro here. It's casting Hero for sure. Like, yeah, let's go for the kill here. Okay, so we do manage the win. We were fine, to be honest. Maybe not. Maybe not. This land would have been troublesome. Okay, but winning game 1 against Steamer is really key, because you really need I never know what spells to take away, so I'm going to take away one of each of what I consider to be the weakest spells. Helix, because the life gain is irrelevant in this matchup, but the instant speed is nice. The Skewer, because it can get awkward if you're on not enough lands, and Riftbolt can get super awkward against Remand and or Aether Gust. So I'm going to actually take 2 Riftbolts and 1 Lightning Helix. Having an instant to bluff Skullcrack is pretty relevant. It's probably the thing I hated the most when I played the Incinerator list, was that you only had Boros Charm as a 2-mana instant. Surgical Eidolon. Yeah, I like this hand a lot. Let's open the opponent's graveyard. Now my biggest problem here is if opponent represents mana leak on his turn 2. I would have liked to draw a creature, but I'm gonna shock myself because I have to Lava Spike here, and as usual I like having an untapped land. Rather a non-suspect untapped land for turn 1, or rather for future turns where I might have to bluff a spell. I shouldn't really 6 here. Okay, so opponent has put me in a bind where I maybe want to hold up something. Like slamming Eidolon gets interrupted too easily. So I think I'm just gonna hold up Boros Charm. To bait out action from opponent. So opponent didn't have growth, so I think my choice was correct. And if he Urrows here, we Charm Face and Surgical the Urrow. And now we just Charm Face. Hopefully opponent counters this. Yeah, Gust. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Basically, you want Gust to hit you if you have lands in hand. Because the problem with Gust, like the strength of Gust is, I'm not gonna have 6 because I might need Surgical. The strength of Gust is if you need lands, it makes you choose between the card you just played and hitting your land for your next turn, which can be relevant against a lot of decks, even us. So this is Urrow. Reclamation. And do I want to hit? Do I want to hit Gus now? I think I learned a lesson about. Never going for surgical on a non-Urrow target. Because if he then draws Urrow, we're kind of screwed. Like, we're nowhere near a kill, realistically. We go 4, 2 is at 6. We need to draw a double bolt, but he's gonna have mana up. I think we just pass here. Swiftspear is a good draw. And I don't know, let me see what opponent does. If he goes Snap Gust, and I think no blocks and he just takes it. Okay, that's pretty fine. Fact or fiction? It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Or do I bait him? I can bait him into picking Anger. So like giving him Anger land. And he sees the value of picking Anger. Because if he picks the 4 cards, I think I'm gonna give him a land with Anger. Like I think he snap picks Anger here. And I can Boros Charm the Anger. Hopefully he picks Anger. Maybe I should have put Misty Rainforest here. And Anger is a pretty good card to run. Not gonna lie, like this completely destroys Prowess. If Prowess goes turn 1 creature, turn 2 double creature. Oh, we didn't choose the Anger. Come on, opponent. Why wouldn't you choose Anger? That's just irresponsible. Okay, so do I save my creature? I think I do. I think I definitely do. Like, you can take action on this, like Aether Gust, Growth Spiral. That's pretty funny. He's looking for like another bolt maybe. I know, I feel that Anger would have been better for opponent. Oh, but he knew I had a Boros Charm, so of course he wouldn't pick Anger. But him not picking Anger tells me he didn't have an answer to this Boros Charm. Opponent untapping is definitely a problem next turn. This is pretty troublesome. This is our best possible draw. Cryptic, tap, draw. Okay. That doesn't really solve... Ah, I should have put Lurrus in hand. That was dumb. Like... Is everyone just gonna Cryptic on top? I'll Surgical the Cryptic if he does. I think I need to Surgical this Cryptic here. Yeah, his hand's garbage. So it basically needs to draw something good here. Take a look at his deck, just... A row, a no other 8, no life gain, that's good for us, okay. Single snap. That's a weird one, but sure. Okay, no force in hand is also pretty good for us. And now, opponent can't really... Well, he can, but he just dies now. Yeah. I think we piloted that pretty well, to be honest. Like, sticking the Eidolon was definitely very good. I think my opponent gusted my Boros Charm too prematurely. There's no reason to gust that Boros Charm in reality. But, like, he had a pretty weak hand, so I can see why he'd do it. It was just in a bad spot if he didn't do it. Okay, so good start, good start. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. And like, I think in game 1 we saw how important it is to have Skullcrack in the main board. Like, I was really anti-Skullcrack in the main board before Uro, because people didn't play like any anti-red in the main board. It was very unusual, like last year. But nowadays, people just play Uro, and you'll really need to beat your Uro matchups game 1. If you don't win against Uro game 1, like post-board games are so hard, because they have a lot of tools. Like, blue has a lot of red hate, green has a lot of life gain, and like their splash color, be it red, black or white, has tools to deal with us. Red has cheap removal that takes care of our threats. Black has cheap removal and life gain in Collective Brutality. And white has Path, which isn't as good against us because our creatures are small enough. But they also have timely reinforcements, which is a pain, especially when paired with Mystic Sanctuary. On the draw again, which is fine to be honest. Does opponent have a companion? He does not. Do I like this hand? Do I like this hand enough to keep? I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. It's strong enough even if we miss our first land drop, because we can suspend Rift Bolt. Depends on the matchup, really. I think this is a fine keep. A bit risky, but fine on the draw. Now this is what I don't want to see. Mine into map. And no land for us, meaning if we don't find land next turn, we just lose because it's Tron. And here's the real kicker. If this is Eldrazi Tron, we just lose either way because we have 2 more spells that we need to cast. Ghost Quarter? Yeah, it's Eldrazi Tron, for sure. No land for us? Well, I'm gonna keep spewing out Swiftspears. Opponent gets a free shot at this land if he wants to. Temple. Ooh. No? Is it normal Tron? Green Tron? If this is green Tron, we're pretty happy. But I sincerely doubt it. Another map? Is this just green Tron? Does green Tron really play Ghost Quarter? I mean, I guess they do, like... It's a colorless land that has utility. We need a land. No land. It's pretty annoying. Well, set up for next turn. Like, realistically, opponent should Ghost Quarter my land. Maybe I should have Lava Spiked because opponent can now play Ugin, and I would have gotten 2 free damage, but if opponent Ugins, I think I lose, realistically. Yeah, and I'm just confused. Take your pick, like nothing here is really good. I have double Skullcrack, which is the only spell I'd really consider, and it takes my only 1 mana spell, so it is Eldrazi Tron, so why didn't he fetch Temple? Really boggles my mind. So our current situation isn't great. Maybe I should have skewered Thought-Knot. I should have definitely skewered Thought-Knot. Because this is a free block for him. Yeah, that was a punt. I should have skewered the Thought Knot, 100%. Because the damage I miss off of skewering the Thought Knot is the damage I save from him not blocking with Thought Knot. And if he does block like he did, I get a card. And I need cards because I need lands to play my hand. I just lose here, right? He plays like a Ballista for 5. Yeah, I think I just lose. 7 plus 3. Okay, so am I dead? I'm not dead next turn, I think. Land here is pretty decent. What are my plays? I take 7 next turn, and he can pump this twice, so I take 9. I die next turn. Even if I gain 2 to 15, he goes 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. So I live, but there's also 0 top decks that save me my following turn. I'll just concede here. Well, risky keep sometimes. Yeah, we were 100% dead. Risky keep sometimes, and I know I could have helixed the dude, but he sacks the dude and I still lose 4 because of the land, and I'm like at 9, and anything off the top from him kills me and faster than I can heal him. So we're definitely bringing in Smashed Smithereens. I don't like Grim Lavamancer here at all. I also don't love Path. As good as pathing Thought Knot is, I don't love it. And I want to take out Eidolon for sure. That one's so bad. So I actually do leave Lavamancer in. And get a Path. I guess. I just don't like Eidolon. It's too irrelevant when my opponent's best plays are 4, 5, and 6 mana. I'll 100% keep this. We get to deploy creatures early enough that his Chalice doesn't do anything. And I think I shock myself, because I'll shock myself either way. Finding him a Tron piece is annoying, but at least I know it's there. Okay, turn 1 map. Now we're fine with that because we have enough juice to develop our hand. I'm gonna play the Islet here because if he does have land destruction, I don't know if he would play land destruction, to be honest. Well, it's there, but he's not gonna play it. He needs to develop his own board. Okay, so he has turn 3 Tron, as per usual. We do have lethal here. We do have lethal. I'm gonna go for it. You could have Dismember doesn't cut it, but Spatial Contortion does. But if he plays anything here, then he's not getting Tron. Okay, we were mostly fine. Like, we hold up Skullcrack, and crack one of these and then draw another Skullcrack, and we're pretty fine. I like this sideboarding, to be honest. I think Eidolon's our only bad card in the matchup, so just run it back. And hopefully opponent keeps keeping less than ideal hands. Our hand's pretty great against Chalice. No creatures, but on the draw creatures are a bit worse, so I'm not mad about this one. No map is also pretty decent. He might have kept the Chalice, which our hand beats pretty handedly. I really hope that this Riftbolt dissuades him from... Like, this Riftbolt may symbolize to him that I'm not playing around Chalice. Does he have Natural Tron? Oh, turn 2 map? Turn 2 map. Like, we need to crack this. Though suspending double Riftbolt's pretty awesome, but I think that cracking this now yields the best results. Because he can't get Tron now. He might just have it. Temple is annoying. Oh, Maze Mind? Fine with that. And suspend a Riftbolt here. Like, Chalice on 2 is opponent's best play right now. One to the bottom, we'd love to see it. Should scry again, yeah. Yeah. Did you find one on top? So it's good. So let's assume it's Thought Knot. Ooh, or Smasher. Ooh, Smasher would be awesome. Karn? Ooh, I like that. What does he fetch? Ensnaring Bridge? What? That's a really weird one, not gonna lie. You should have definitely picked up Trinosphere. Do I kill Karn now? I think I don't, right? Maybe I do. I don't want him fetching Trinosphere. Because if he doesn't fetch Trinosphere, we still die to Thought Knot though. But if he does fetch Trinosphere, we're screwed. Because we still take 2 turns to do anything. I think I'll put my chances on opponent not drawing a Thought Knot Seer, because he didn't have it, so he has 2 looks at it, one on the bottom. I kinda wanna see Smasher here, like double tap. Ooh, another Tome? And Chalice on 1. Ballista. Okay, so opponent just kept a garbage hand. I mean, not true, he kept a Karn hand probably, and we even get Lava Spike. Chalice on 1 would have gotten us, not gonna lie. Just spike him again. Well, don't you just win? Helix him and Skullcrack and Lava Spike him. Yeah, but if he fetches Trinosphere from Karn, then I don't win next turn, and then he can do some pretty nasty stuff. Like if he draws Chalice, I don't win. If he draws Thought-Knots here, I don't win. That's why I killed Karn, because he fetched Bridge for some reason. Maybe to hide what he was actually wanting to... I don't know why he fetched Bridge. Bridge is just a bad card to fetch there. So I played around him fetching Trinosphere next turn, because I had suspended Riftbolt, which you do have to pay 3 for with Trinosphere. So that's all my mana for that turn, and then he thought, now it takes away one of my bolts. And I had... so... it would have been at 2. I don't think he has it because he went for Bridge. Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, any option is better than Bridge for my opponent, so I don't know why he fetched for it. But I don't know. Does he try not play Trinosphere? Let me I'll look for the next match. Opponent gave me the GGs, let's give him the GGs back. Does Eldrazi not play Trinosphere in the side? Why? It's so good! Like, Wormcoil was a good pick. I mean, he didn't have the mana. Like, our smash on his map won us the game there, to be honest. It was dead either way. Yeah, it was pretty dead. I played it safe, because I've lost too many Tron games against Trinosphere. And we're on the play, finally. I lost too many games against Trinosphere. So that's why I was being cautious. And I have lost games for being too cautious. So I appreciate the concern about me not screwing up there. Eldrazi really doesn't play Trinosphere, that's super weird. Trinosphere is so good, even if they're... because, like, you don't cast stuff off Refibber, right? Yeah, put it on the battlefield. So the only thing that a Trinosphere does is cut you off cheap Maze Mines, but if you're casting Trinosphere, you're fine on mana. Ah, come on, Trinosphere has gotta be better than... what do they run? Like, they run Torpor Orb. Like, come on, Trinosphere's gotta be better than Torpor Orb. Okay, let's play here. I'm gonna fetch for a basic because I have painful lands in hand that tap for white. Not really knowing the matchup is scary. With Storm. Our hand is crap against Storm. Or it's Prison. An opponent moons me. Turn 1. I feel like I've seen this name before. We were scared of Witchbane. Oh yeah, Witchbane is so good against us. But Witchbane doesn't really stop prowess, right? Isn't there one that makes you getting attacked for 1 less? It's Storm. Oh, he had to shock himself? We love that. We're in a pickle. We kinda need to find some action in terms of removal. So Lightning Bolt or Lightning Helix, not a land. Let's hope for Storm. It is Storm, but I have no instant speed removal. What did he do with Serum Visions? Put 2 cards on the bottom. Okay. I'm assuming he needs a land. Like, I'll suspend here and go for face in case he does play the dude. on turn 2. Storm is a buy. Well, I lose most of my game 2s against Storm. Maybe I'm just bad, but I feel like I lose every game 2 against Storm. Because being on the draw means I have to hold up mana for interaction, and then they just Goblin me. And I'm like, oh, I've been killing myself with my lands for a while. This scares me, because it could mean opponent has a second one. I think we go for a face here in case we draw Swiftspear. Oh, Lava Spike, is it lethal? It's not lethal because our Goblin guy needs to get in. So let's face, go floor. And now here's the big problem. If he has... maybe I should have... no, I can't let Baral live, right? Okay, so he doesn't have it. Here's the problem. If opponent had land into creature into the nuts, we just lose here, right? We really need instant speed interaction against them. My sideboard is usually bring in Path, Searing Blaze, like one Surgical to take out Skullcrack, another Baral. That's annoying. Oh, that's super annoying. Oh no. No bueno. We're going to lose here. Opponent has double ritual. We might lose here. Ritual into ritual into another ritual. Into Manamorphose. Into gifts. Yeah. Finding the 6th land was too much. Unfortunately. And this is how you lose the Storm. Like, you don't have removal for the dude. So... he has enough mana. Wait, no Piff, so he has Piff in hand? Oh, so this is deterministic, right? 2 cards in graveyard? Sure. Like, we just lose here. I should have put in Manamorphose in the graveyard even. It's one more draw he has, but if he's not fetching Piff, he just has it, yeah. So now it's Storm 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, we just lose. Can we move the storm count? I'm gonna let him do it. But he has it. 15 already. And that's how you lose the storm. At 16, so now Grape Shot gets us, and he still has another Visions. Yeah, let's just concede here. Oh, it was there. All wins, all wins. Well, now game 3 is gonna be annoying. Um, what do I want? I think Skullcrack is bad, right? Like Grim Lavamancer is probably too slow. Though with Grim Lavamancer I can keep shooting and keep shooting the board and still have something to do, and it's gonna bring in removal. What do I side out now? A Boros Charm, because it doesn't hit him. I don't like Surgical here. I don't think it does enough. You might get lucky, but... well, I gotta keep, right? I have Eidolon. Surgical is good. Surgical is good, but I don't think it does enough as a draw to really justify it, because they have alternate win cons. Gives you information. Yeah, that's relevant, but like, not sure if it's justified. It gives me information. Might be good. I sometimes put one in just because. Hopefully opponent bolts our Swiftspear. That's our best. It's our best play here. Okay, so no bolt. Annoying, to say the least. He might have a braid as a removal. You get to see their hand and you get to play game knowing if they can go off or not. For a turn, yeah, maybe it's justified. Maybe it's justified. You put in Surgical, and you get to eat his lightning bolts to save Eidolon a little bit, or a braid. And then they kind of need to dig for the other. Maybe it's decent. I'm not gonna lie. I have played it. Do I want to drop Eidolon here? Did my opponent mulligan? No. So I drop Eidolon, he abrades it, he takes 2, and then I don't have instant speed removal. Or I play Boros Charm. I think we drop Eidolon. I should have shocked myself. Okay, opponent gonna grape shot my Eidolon, which is fine. Like, turns Eidolon into a Boros Charm. It's okay. Oh, he's gonna kill both? Or is he just looking for it? He might just be looking for it. Oh, that's awful, opponent. What are you doing? Why wouldn't you keep removal? Oh, I like this. But sadly, I can't play it. I need to remove this ASAP. Does this put him down to 2? It does. Okay, so opponent's lost. Wait, no. Am I that bad at math? It was at 8? Yeah, that was into 3. Okay, that's just lethal. That's removal. Okay, we were fine. Now here comes the problems. Here come the problems. Do I want surgical? maybe just one. I'm gonna play one, because I think that eating the Lightning Bolt, if he does play it soon, like turn 1 he bolts my Goblin Guide, I eat it, and then I play Eidolon, knowing it's safe, or I avoid playing it knowing it's not safe. I think you don't want to see it that often. Like it's just there as a nice surprise. Having Lurrus is definitely cool. Yeah, I love this hand. 2 pieces of removal plus a creature. Opponent keeps 7 again. That's removal if I've ever seen it. This land's actually decent because we get to fetch for a basic. He definitely has Lightning Bolt, or Opt. He might have Opt. Opponent's really confusing me. Like your Storm, you mulligan well enough for a good for good stuff. So opponent's not experienced with his deck, I feel. And I think I hold up Lightning Helix and throw it to face. If he doesn't cast a creature, he might just go land pieces. Then we go face, land, face, face, hold up removal. He's definitely playing pieces here. Yeah. I don't even know what that card does. Build top 5, put 2 instants and or sorceries in your hand. So Baral goes away, Spirebluff goes away, and the Braid goes away. Really? Opponent discards a Braid? He's clearly shown me he doesn't have removal. He just keeps the cantrips because he wants to find. Sure. Opponent goes Baral into Metamorphose, we kill the Baral with Lightning Bolt. Haha! That's an interesting one. Less interesting when you have to tap out of blue, but oh, I got. He has Remand now. You need Remand, I think. I just cast it again. No blue now. It just resolves. We're fine now. We have lethal in hand, plus the Goblin Guide. And now the Bolt comes. Super awkward draws from opponent, I feel. He can still go off. Well, not anymore. I think we got that game gifted to us. Opponent kept a bad hand and played his hand pretty poorly. And well, it doesn't really matter. Let's go for anti-force. Doesn't beat force, but puts a permanent on the field. Okay. Pretty poorly played from opponent, but we did manage to lose game 1. Which I think might have been a first, losing game 1 to Storm. At least it hasn't happened in a while. Alright, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Funnily enough, the only match where I managed to 2-0. I know, Eldrazi-Tron's pretty rough. One of our worst matchups. One of our worst matchups and one of our easiest matchups. In Eldrazi-Tron and Storm. We managed to 2-1 both. So I'm on the play. Reveal Lurrus. No lands. One land. One land. Like one land on a multi-6 with a creature is pretty decent. So I kinda have to take it. Not a fan of it, but I think I put Skewer away because it's the most dangerous card. Because if we don't find a land if we don't find land, we have gas. But I think Skewer is the most dangerous card here. Like, we need a land on our next turn or on our following turn, and this start actually kinda bluffs prowess a little bit. We're getting turn 1 Inquisitioned or pushed Inquisitioned, okay. No land, but Eidolon's a decent draw, not gonna lie. Eidolon's a pretty decent draw. I hope I'm not against Jund. One land against Jund is super bad. And I really need... Could still be Rakdos. He has Fatal Push, I'm assuming. Huh. He knows about the Lava Spike. But like, do I want a Lava Spike now, or do I want to maybe... Because the difference between 12 and 13 is huge. Whereas the difference between... Well, with 2 Boros Charm, actually the difference between 8 and... Yeah, I think not drawing lands here means I gotta play risky. Because the difference between 10 and 8 is quite relevant. Goes through, and he plays Oh, it's Jund. Okay, so it is Jund. Liliana. And down takes Liliana. I don't love it. Because I need to attack Liliana. But his previous play tells me he doesn't really have anything of worth. Like no removal for sure. Or at least no 1 mana removal. He might have Assassin's Trophy. If he does have Assassin's Trophy, we're pretty happy. Because he either enables our hand... Oh, Skews is awful. We have no way of dealing with Skews. Skews is just so awful for us. Oh. Now we have to... I can't attack here. So his hand was just green based and he didn't have the mana for it. Our Rift Bolt still kills Skews. And as tempting as just going face. Oh, that's super rough. I have to, oh, we can exile Kroxa too. I'm gonna make him do it though. Kinda have to go face now. That's not very good. Still on 1 land, not amazing. Kinda want to avoid discarding this Eidolon. I want him to work for his life there. Rough start. Okay, so I think we just lose now. Although, notably opponent can't escape Kroxa now. Like, there's a chance our Boros Charm stays safe. If you draw land, it's just gonna play like Liliana or Thoughtseize. No, Thoughtseize actually doesn't get there. He needs Liliana or Inquisition. Renin 6. Super bad for him. Can still eat Kroxa and be fine. Imagine if we had a land. Turn 7. I think that we will win if we draw land. Is it too much? Not too much to ask. Cool. Can't believe we won off of 1 land there. Opponent kept it pretty crappy. Yeah, he kept a pretty crappy hand. Like, not fetching for green turn 1 to preserve his life total ended up mattering a lot. Just top decking. Rough patch here, but we could have drawn. Alright, so winning game 1 against Chund is pretty big. I think I want Path from the side. As weird as that is. Like, I just came off of E-Tron not playing Path from the side, and now I want it. But it's basically because Tarmogoyf races you really well. Like, if opponent goes turn 1 discard, turn 2 Tarmogoyf, and then just keeps controlling the board / my hand, there's a big chance I just lose. I like Grim Lavamancer as a 5th must-remove card alongside Eidolon. I like Helix. I like Charm for its reach. I think I hate Skewer the most here, because you need a way to play it. Like, it's common to be on 2 lands in burn, and against a discard deck, can't really play Skewer all that well. Winning that game 1 was pretty good. Like, Jund has... Basically, Jund has a lot of sideboard packages to hate on red. And they mostly work better against burn than prowess. They have the Dragon's Claw attack, which I think is awful, because they don't really play red. They don't play that many red spells for it to be worth it for them. Like, just a 2-mana nerf your opponent's deck, but it's pretty bad tempo for a deck that wants to discard your opponent's hand. I have Clothis, and Clothis is pretty annoying, because Clothis plus discard equals me not having Skullcrack for Clothis. And I've seen people play the Madcap combo on the side, which I think is awful, because it barely beats one deck, which is us. And even then, I side Paths, that's a pretty normal tech, so it doesn't even beat us that consistently. But I did lose to it yesterday. Opponent's taking a long time. He might have just gone AFK. Oh, he's back, okay. This land's... Is this hand serviceable? No, right? Like, I'm 1 push or 1 discard away from having a awful hand. This one's much better. I actually bottomed the Helix here. Now, like, if he turn 1 discards me, he has to take away the guide. Yeah, it takes away the guide for sure. Yeah. Which I honestly don't love. It does make his possible turn to Goyf pretty bad. We just bought a new Helix. We need a land. I think I'll have a spike now. Yeah, it's unlikely that I would path this turn, either way. We like this land. Yeah, Tarmogoyf. So opponent's playing Lurrus. That's valuable information. Let's not ramp our opponent. And And I have to discard the Goyf because Jund does get aggressive. What's our best possible outcome? Nothing. Yeah, that's a good outcome. And as much as my opponent might be holding on to removal, I don't know, like I feel that if you have removal and see Path in hand and Goblin Guide, you take the Path, so your Goyf just bricks the Goblin Guide all the same. And then you can remove it after you cast the Goyf. So opponent probably not on removal in hand. Raging Ravine. Okay, so he does have it. Okay, better a push than a brutality, to be honest. Liliana, okay, we're fine with that. Oh, we're not fine with that, actually. We have a pretty stacked hand. So we're losing a bolt for sure. Okay, yeah, I gotta double bolt face here, I feel. I don't think I care too much about Liliana ulting. Could have double bolted Liliana there and hold on to this to kill a potential Lurrus. That's fine. That's a little less fine. Actually, that's pretty fine. Ooh, that's hella fine. Okay. Opponent's gonna crack that peatland. Not cracking the peatland then. So he's escaping Kroxa. And if he's escaping Kroxa here, he's getting in the danger zone. Which I guess he was already on. But now Ooze. Oh well, Ooze does get there. Goes to 4 and he can... Oh, he can't go to 5, so we just need Boros Charm. How hard can it be? Not Boros Charm. Alright. Actually, do I want... I'm gonna make a gamble here. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay. Do we have any more creatures? We don't. Do they have any more creatures? They have Kroxa. You can eat a Kroxa to go up to 5. The opponent can now... Well, if he ults Liliana, we're pretty happy. We're definitely in a tough spot now. Definitely in a tough spot. The good thing about this is that still one Boros. Okay, we just lose now, I think. because opponent can now escape Kroxa, deal 3, attack for 5. Yeah. Yeah. So Skews is pretty good against us. Who would have thought? But I think we still run it back. Stuck on one land again this time. We didn't get there. We were close. Like, if we top deck a Boros Charm there. We are pretty fine. Alright, so we want to see creatures, we want to see Eidolon. Well, that's a keep, at least that. Maybe I should have shocked myself. I've run into the occasional trophy or white land, but I think I'm fine with this. Our life total is relevant here. And trophying my land is pretty mediocre. Okay, so he... Alright, so he has push. He definitely has push, right? So I think I try to get in for 1 here. He might just let it go through, yeah. Now I can... Or do I hold up Skullcrack for... Yeah, I think holding up a spell here is best. I need to play around Collective Brutality. So he had to push. Okay, that's fine. I've could have Charmed, but I think that... Oh, no gas turn through. Pretty happy with that one. Let's Charm face. In game 2 we didn't see like any spice from the sideboard against us, sadly. Because I think I would have liked to see it. Again, I think that playing around... So Grim Lavamancer is the must answer from opponent. And he probably has it. Yeah, okay, we're fine with that. I want to see Collective Brutality from opponent. This is just a Liliana. Okay. Skullcracking now. And I got discard a Skullcrack, because this still lets me play a 2-mana spell if I draw it. Eidolon's our best draw for sure. That also works. So we don't want opponent finding Skews. It's definitely their best draw. Yeah, that's also a really good draw for them. Now it's removal or bust for us. And I think it's bust. Oh. Come on, game. I'm gonna keep playing, but it's pretty much spell's doom. There's an argument that I should have killed Liliana when it came. And I could have saved that lightning bolt for Lurrus, which I know they were running because they showed me Bobble early game 2. Yeah, I can't do anything, opponent. Like, we're still in it, right? We draw removal, kill Lurrus. We're still in it. That doesn't work. Although it takes some counters away from Liliana, which is nice. Choose a pile to sacrifice. Yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice that. No world am I keeping Goblin Guide here to be removed by some other spell. I think it was a poor pile. Maybe, yeah, it was valuing Guide way too much. Maybe he didn't have the removal. He can always draw it. I just need one removal spell from the top. Just the one. Oh, that doesn't work. Because Liliana deals with it swiftly. Yeah. Now we can escape Croaks next turn and ping me for lethal. Oh, it just does it now. Oh no, it doesn't. He can't because of the forest, but the idea is there. So my draws need to be removed. That's removal. Gotta go for it. And now Croxa doesn't kill me. But I need to draw like a path. Our opponent goes commands, play Lurrus, play Bobble, ping me. Or Bloodbraid Elf. It's probably not playing Bloodbraid Elf. And he skips Croaks and I lose. Okay, GG's, GG's. The Lurrus is definitely strong against us. We might have drawn too many lands. No, not really. Opponent just had good answer for us. Double push into Liliana was good against our hand of 2 creatures. And how could I have played it differently? I could, yeah, I think that against Lurrus I have to start killing Liliana. This has happened more than once, where my opponent plays Lurrus, or rather my opponent plays Liliana and I try to raise him, and then he plays Lurrus and I don't top deck the answer. I think that's common enough that I really need to start looking into killing Liliana when she comes down, which is awful because she upticks to 4. was something that Incinerator always helped with, because opponent plays Liliana and down takes it to deal with my effective 1-drop, which is always nice. On the play, always good. Non-permanent hand, but I gotta keep. 3 lands, spells, that's a keep in my book. His opponent a known player. I feel like I've seen his name somewhere. Just online's number of players not being that large. I'm gonna... As much as I like having Lightning Bolt as removal, I think that whole bluffing non-burn is relevant. So opponents on Ponza. We did reveal Lurrus, so like how much info am I really hiding? Definitely not the draw we want to see. Is there anything I want to do that's not going face? One's best play is Cloth is. Mildest play is nothing? What? Is this a Bloodbraid Elf hand? Is this a Bloodbraid Elf hand? Might be, to be honest. Might be. I'm gonna hold his Lightning Bolt. Yeah, if he shocks himself for some reason. Might get stomped in the face. No stomp? Oh, I do have a Lurrus here. People tend to over-evaluate Lurrus as a companion. It was a Bloodbraid Elf hand. Into Blood Moon? That's annoying. Especially since our best out is... I have to race here. So especially since our best out would have been Boros Charm. Like, Lurrus is uncastable now, which is also relevant. Okay, this does help in putting him in bolt lethal range, which I'm hoping is our next draw. It's a Glorybringer or another Bloodbraid, or it doesn't matter. Mana? Tarmogoyf in Ponza? Sure. I gotta hide the info. I want my opponent to swing out with both. Okay, he definitely plays that. And it's a creature, oh no. I forgot that Cloth is a creature. So opponent's Hellbent. Oh, but that works. That definitely works. Okay, winning game 1, again, pretty darn relevant. What's my sideboard even? Path? Ugh, I hate playing Path against Ponza. I hate playing Path against Ponza because I can't really grind it out against them. But Eidolon is so bad against them. Like, if he's cheeky, he might keep in all of his Blood Moons. It's way too many white spells. I feel like I board in Path for some charm slots to keep my white plays at 8. I don't want 3, I might want just 2. To really avoid finding 2 of them. Like, I think finding 1 is fine. It has its uses. I'm never gonna cast Lurrus. I still reveal it, like it might come in handy. I'm playing it because it might come in handy. I don't love it. I genuinely don't love it. Any other matchup, this hand would be gas. Against Monza. Well, I think there's one correct play here. Oh, don't play Skews, please. Alright, that's fine. So he has Stomp or Bolt. Doesn't really matter which. Can we get a land? No. Alright, game. Well, there's a Stomp, so maybe he doesn't have one in hand. Okay, that's actually better than Stomp, because he might not cast Giant now. Him casting a Giant here would be awful for us. Oh, that's pretty awful for us. That is pretty awful for us. Oh, still no land. I'm so close to just surrendering. I just lose this game. Like, I don't think there's really too much to do here. Like, I killed this. I can't even cast Path. Yeah, this was a loss through and through. Huh. That on the play, I take out Path. Just run back the OG. The OG 61. Reveal the Lurrus boy. No, game, why do you do this to me? I don't want to keep a one-lander. It's so much worse. That's so much worse. I'm never gonna cast both Eidolons. Maybe, who knows. My opponent doesn't keep a Bailoff hand. I might cast both. As per usual, shocking myself turn 1 to avoid being too obvious when I'm holding a 2-mana spell. Ideally, if one doesn't play elf. I'll tell you why. I don't want to kill the elf. I really don't want to kill the elf. Like, I gotta kill the elf. Especially since I have a creature on board. Like, if he has Land Utopia, he could have had the big dude. He has a name. Bailoff. Ooh, we love to see it. We love to see it. Shocking himself for an Abrade tells me a lot about his hand. No acceleration, no decent plays. Is Eidolon gonna be the star here? My god, Eidolon's gonna be the star here. And double creature? Ooh. I know one thing. If opponent plays Anger of the Gods, I'm gonna cry. I don't know, shocking himself for a Braid tells me he doesn't really have anger. Bailoff? We're fine with that. So now do we attack? I think we attack with these two fellas and kill Bailoff. If you wanna cast anything good, be my guest. If you wanna attack, be my guest. Another Bailot? Questing Beast? Wow, that's spicy. And I can't block Questing Beast? Ooh. Yeah, maybe. Heap, yeah. Maybe I should be playing Path, I'm gonna be honest. Path would be great here. Helix is not awful. Oh, and that's a sneaky play, opponent. That's a sneaky play. That's a very sneaky play. Ooh, am I dead to Kessig Wolf Run? Ooh, am I dead? Oh, okay, I'm not dead to... I would have been dead to Blood Braiding into a Bolt. Oh no. Oh yeah, he has Bolt in hand. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah, we just lose. Damn it. Yeah, Eidolon's super bad. I'm gonna start siding out Eidolon for Path. Like, I feel that they side out the moons because I'm a red deck. So I completely lost that one on my own. And the Jun matchup, by the way, I'm obviously not updating the score, because I'm bad at updating the score. I'll just hide it from now on. That was a 3-2. Not awful, but not great. I definitely lost Ponza on my own. I think that the Jun matchup was pretty rough because his hand was pretty good against mine. Let's open the chest. We went Euro Force. That's garbage, but this is not garbage. That's a lot of play points for one chest. Alright, so do we still have the league here? We have the league here. So we lost to Jund and Ponza. We punted against Ponza, I feel. I think that I really need to side in the Path to Exile. Because Eidolon is bad, and so is... Eidolon's pretty bad. Like, I don't like it in that matchup. They have too many things that go around Eidolon. And my life total is relevant, so... Just gonna start siding out Eidolon for my Path. Maybe even the Searing Blaze, like, I don't hate it. Makes those blocks from opponent better for us if we can basically 2-for-2 them, because Searing Blaze is an inherent 2-for-1, so we 2-for-1 them with Searing Blaze, but they 2-for-1. They 2-for-1 us with their creature blocking ours and needing a removal spell, so we get about even. That's one way to give some more value to our creatures. Alright, again, a pretty standard league. Not sure if I want to get into crazy stuff right away. Like, I still have budget lists that I want to test, but I want to... They're Incinerator builds, because Incinerator is so cheap. Like, it's a cheap package of Incinerator plus Seal of Fire, and that fills the holes left by Boros Charm and Helix pretty darn fine. And then the rest of the deck is pretty much the same. I have versions without Eidolon, because Eidolon's expensive, at least online. It's the most expensive card of the deck, not including lands, of course. I also have some weird variants, like this black-red variant, which plays Bumping a Knight for a slightly lower curve. I have a red-green one. I'm including Seal of Fire here, but I don't like it. I really don't like it. There's an argument to include Tarmogoyf, just because it's hard to remove. I'm not playing Incinerator because of Aethergust, so I don't think Tarmogoyf is a good option. And it's just a regular burn. I could also play Prowess. I don't know, I'm not super in love with Prowess, to be honest. I just prefer the reach of burn. I could play Ad Nauseam one of these days, even if I'm super bad with the deck. Well, either way, thank you for watching and see you next time.